Before we start,
yes.
How are we pronouncing the name of this person?
Fuck knows, but let's give it a good go. Did you know, gentle viewer, that people we find conventionally attractive are far less likely to ever be convicted of a crime? Perhaps the greatest historical example of this is a lady called Phryne, who used her kick-ass set of breasts to get out of a death sentence in ancient Greece.
Is that statistically proven to be true?
Yes, it's something called the halo effect by researchers I presume have spent a lot of time just staring at pictures of attractive people. And it's described as like an unconscious or subconscious bias we have towards people who are really attractive, because in our heads we naturally associate attractive qualities with those people, such as honesty, integrity, and not being an asshole. And there are numerous examples that people will be able to recall right now of like famous or attractive people getting away with crimes that would ordinarily see, like, you know, someone who looks like me just sent the fuck down. And I think like the most harrowing example that springs to mind for me is the case of the Boston bomber. Did you ever hear about this? I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name, but fuck it, he's an asshole. So let's just call him that. Where there was a very large following online of teenage girls who absolutely refused he could be like such a heinous, unthinkable shit stain, because dem cheekbones though. But yes, right, to answer your question, it is a noted phenomenon that people who are conventionally attractive by society's standards tend to get away with a lot of shit, the peons amongst us wouldn't. Go Google it, it's really interesting, but it's not the topic of today's conversation. That's a jumping off point to talk about that's the thing. Like, I'm fairly bad, as people will know if you watch the channel, like at pronouncing foreign names. But this is the one that I just looked at and went, "Fuck me, I'm never gonna get that one."
Fern, maybe.
Fern, was in the plant.
Or fern, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like.
Well, I mean, fern like fern cotton. It is a name,
you know what? Let's call it fern. Before we continue with this conversation though, Brad, and given that we're talking about an immaculate set of boobs, we have to, if we're discussing awesome or stupid sounding names, tip our hats in acknowledgement to porn stars, because they come up with some fucking fantastic ones, and I contend that, the art of name, the porn star name is akin to poetry. It's like an act of constrained writing. It's like basically a sexual haiku. It's an act of constrained writing where it simultaneously has to be memorable, short, and unique. And by the look on your face, me filling for time has allowed you to now search for some names that you now have on a list in front of you. So would you like to reveal whatever the fucking website you found has compiled for us?
It's a list of ridiculous porn star names, and the first one I've opened up is a guy who goes under the name Rocky Balboa.
That's fucking brilliant. Keep going.
Bill Clinton.
Okay, that's a good one. He's amazing. So I was thinking more like Bend Over.
I've just gone past Bend Over.
Bend Over's the classic.
Now that is a name.
What's that?
That is a porn star name right there. Lance Thruster.
What do you think all the other porn stars did when they turned up to film a scene with that guy and they realised they could have picked a much cooler name? He comes in, it's like, what's your name? It's like Mike Hardwood. He goes, what's your name? Lance Thruster. That sounds like a superhero. That's like a knockoff action figure you'd see in Poundland.
Rod Longstaff, as you'd expect, another one of the...
He's just getting closer to my actual real name. Because I've always said that if I ever went and we ran out of money for the channel and I had to do porn, I had to take that hit, Karl Smallwood would be the name I'd perform under, because everyone would click it just to see.
Luke Thigh-Walker. Complete with picture.
Does he? He actually does look a bit like Mark Hamill, motorcycle face smashed up Mark Hamill.
Justine Bieber. That's nice. Buster Hyman.
Oh, that's it, we're done. We're done.
We've got to end on Buster Hyman.
That's terrible. Boo, Buster, that's not nice. Stop it.
So tell us about Fern.
Fern, we're going with Fern. Fuck it, it's easiest to pronounce. So Fern is rumoured to have spent the majority of her time being joined at the hip, in the sex way, with the greatest and best minds in ancient Greece, and she is rumoured to have been the inspiration behind many pieces of ancient Greek art, including this statue of Aphrodite looking finer than she ever has done in any God of War game.
So how did she end up in court facing a death sentence?
Well, that happened because the ancient Greeks, contrary to all those statues with their dongs hanging out, were quite prudish when it came to people, flaunting what they've got. And it wasn't long before Phryne, I'm going to use that, it's so fucking dumb, came to the attention of, some famously prudish Greek officials who accused her of impiety, which was a crime that carried the death sentence at the time. And obviously she had to stand trial and defend herself in court.
So what did she do in court?
Well, there are numerous versions of this legend, but the most popular posits that she walked into court wearing a big long flowing robe, just delicately covering both of her shoulders, walked into the middle of the courtroom and just flashed her tits at the judges gathered and told them that it will be a crime against the gods themselves to just destroy tits this fantastic. Because she argued that obviously they were crafted in the image of the gods themselves, and it would be a crime against said gods to destroy, the goods that she had on display or imprison them and stop other people from enjoying them. And yes, for anyone who's wondering, there is of course artwork of this, and it is all amazing. And Brad's going to put some behind us right now. My favourite is one of the artworks. There's a guy who's clearly going, ooh. He's doing a proper carry on face at this this. Do you know when what's the name of that? Peggy from EastEnders. What was the name? Barbara Windsor. It was do you know when Barbara Windsor used to just get her tits out and it'd show you the tasteful shot from behind of the bra cartoonishly boinging across, and you get the one guy going, ooh.
Matron, take them away.
There's a guy in this painting depicting this actual thing that happened in ancient Greece doing that exact face. I'm going to guess as well, if you zoom in on that painting enough, there's probably someone there doing a Chris Pratt face as well, so they come out.
I mean, if there wasn't, there is now.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Look at that. We're in sync. We got it. I should point out that this isn't the only, rumoured way this event went down, and there is another version of this story that suggests that it was Phryne's, I can't fucking get over that name, that Phryne's legal counsel advised her to disrobe in court, but the explanation for why is exactly the same. They argued that her body was so beautiful and those tits were so fantastic, they could only have been crafted by the gods themselves, and that it would be a crime against the gods to destroy it. And what they did then is presented an argument to the court of, let her walk free or face the wrath of the gods for destroying that much ass. And you know what, Brad? It fucking worked, because she walked free because of that argument, and the people obviously presiding over the case were so pissed off, they made it a rule that you couldn't do that in court anymore. So they were worried about how many more people had come in to say, I've got the body crafted in the image of a god, you can't destroy me, I've got to go free. So obviously she was accused of impiety, but can you imagine if she'd been accused of some other crime, like murder or some shit, and she managed to get away from it by just going, no, the breasts have spoken. So, can you imagine that shit? So obviously I said she served as the inspiration for actual statues of Aphrodite. So she had a legitimate argument of this is the body of a god. And well, it is. I imagine now some guy going, those boobs look familiar. And he looks out the window and just sees the image of his god, and he's like, fuck.
No, underneath his desk he's got Greek illustrated, and it's got topless Aphrodite pics, and one of them's just her.
I'm now thinking though, imagine how pissed off judges were when they ruled against people getting naked in court. 'Cause I bet that just made the day more interesting. When they just sat there going, I bet it's impiety, these are always boring as fuck. And a woman walks in and is pow! Check this out, lads. He's what? So you can't destroy these boobs. Why not? These boobs are too good. They're too good. Damn it. They are. That's a really good set. We can't do anything. Damn it. It's the perfect crime. Just the idea that she got away with crime because of boobs. How simple are men? We are the worst. We are men are
so easy to manipulate.
We are basically fucking dogs. We can be tricked by just showing us just a set of tits. And it's wow, that's amazing. You can go away, it's fine, carry on, love, it's alright. Don't worry about it. Do you know what my favourite part about this story is?
What?
After that lady moonwalked out of court flashing her tits and managed to get away with not being sentenced to death, she became a prostitute that earned so much money she once personally offered to pay to rebuild the Wall of Thebes. Or so the legends say. Oh, isn't history fun, folks? But I feel for the women watching at home, that may have been a bit of a metaphorical ball ache to sit through. So, for those ladies who sat through this and us just basically going, oh, boobs, like school children, now let's shift, gear and talk about some extremely attractive men.
Ooh.
Because, Phryne, she got, fuck her name, bollocks to it, Toad. That's what her name translates to, I'm not being mean about her. Right? She got away with, a crime for having tits that were that fantastic. So, let's talk about men who could similarly, if they went back in time, would be able to claim, I am crafted in the image of a god, let me go, and would get away with it.
I mean, I'm opening immediately with Chris Hemsworth, because he is a god.
He's literally played a god, and they even joke about that in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, where they're talking about, the aftermath of Thor 2, that terrible movie, where they talk about, we have to clean up after Thor, and some guy goes, isn't he a god? And then another person jumps in and goes, no, he's not a god. And then a woman off camera goes, you've not seen his arms. I'm going to say Chris fucking Evans, but only if it's Chris Evans exactly as it is in The Winter Soldier when he arm curls the helicopter.
No, Infinity War. You got to have Daddy's beard.
No, we get both. I consider them to be separate Chris Evanses. I think you got clean cut Winter Soldier Chris Evans, where he's idealistic.
The guy you take home meet your parents.
Yeah, and then you've got Daddy Steve, who's fucking pissed as all
hell. Daddy Steve, you keep secret because they never approve.
But you know what? They would approve when they met him. He's just dark and brooding. And I'm keeping the dark and brooding thing. And Heath Ledger. I want to say Heath Ledger from 10 Things I Hate About You. When Heath Ledger was the leather jacket wearing jackass in the back of the class, who's all brooding, he's got the long hair, and he's got that thing going about him. Because he didn't have the body, but he just had he had that weird chiseled aspect, the angular thing to his face. He's got a face that looks like a Porygon's ass. It's crazy. Go on, what's your next one?
I'm going to throw out Alexander Skarsgård. Do you know him?
Yeah, he's the it guy, isn't he?
That's Bill Skarsgård.
Oh yeah, but the Skarsgård family.
But Alexander is the one who was in True Blood, and he plays Eric Northman.
Oh, because I thought you were going to say the guy who played It. Because I remember that there was a lot of articles that came out when It was hitting cinemas the guy who plays It is super attractive and girls don't know how to deal. He's not conventionally attractive, it's really weird quality to his face where it's you'd look at him and just go, huh. So obviously, if we're going for the God angle, we've got to have Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
We've talked about his name, when he was in his Mr. Olympia phase, when he was basically my shoulders are war crimes, my chest looks like a dinner plate, I think if he went back and said, I was made in the image of your God, they'd look and go, that's fine. But I'm just going to say some other, I think Kurt Russell, when he was at his beardist. People look at that, someone's a beard like that could only be the beard of a god.
Patrick Stewart.
Oh man, thing is though, he would just go back, and it's not even that they need to look at him, they just need to hear him. We'd just say, let me go, and I'd be man, let's do it. And I think as well, of all the people we've mentioned so far, most women are going yeah, Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart's got a really big female following. He fucking loves it. I'm thinking send back David Harbour.
Oh, David Harbour.
The king of the dad bod. It's the thing he's super annoyed about as well. It's I exercise so much for Hellboy, and everyone's saying I've got a dad bod.
You know who I reckon's got a massive following, and a lot of people who want his junk?
Who's that?
Phil Mitchell.
Oh, yes, Steve McFadden. We know people want Steve McFadden's junk because he keeps getting arrested for dogging. You go, Steve McFadden. But that's the thing, that people like that kind of shit. I'm going to say as well, Danny DeVito. He's got a massive following. Women fucking love Danny. He's so adorable. And as well, he has got an almost untold amount of swagger and confidence. Because you ever hear about how he used to get dates back before he was famous?
No.
He'd say, I'd go up to the tallest woman in the bar and ask her to dance. Because she's going to be the one who knows what it's like to be singled out because of your height. And also, if I don't care, they shouldn't. And he got mad laid back. Of course he did. He's Danny fucking DeVito. So I forgot he's in that episode of Friends where they hire a stripper and he turns up and he just starts stripping. We were talking about that. We can't not mention Matt LeBlanc, who was aged like fine fucking wine.
Oh, he does. He's crisp white hair.
Have you seen what he... Oh, my God. He's looking so fucking good right now. Was that episode, I think it was the Graham Norton show, when he's on it with Zac Efron. And more women cheer for Joey than they do for Zac Efron. Let's not get off, though, the Silver Fox train without mentioning Daddy himself, RuPaul fucking Hollywood.
Oh,
like, people
smooth.
Yeah, Americans watching him, I don't know. He's the guy from like Great British Bake Off, and apparently as well, he's a proper poon hound. Do you know he keeps getting told off like for sleeping with women on tours?
How do you get told off for that?
Because I think he's married.
Oh, okay.
Like, he keeps like sleeping with women all the time. Like, he's really like notorious for just like fucking putting it about a bit.
Do you reckon he makes bakery puns in the bedroom?
Of course he fucking does. Soggy bottoms and all that.